I was
I'm
trying
live.
to pull it up, bro.
Okay, we're going to pull up. We're doing Tom&Z morning rounds.
This
Anyone
is
who doesn't
so
understand that is a punk. We're going to the main page, and me and Tom are talking to each other in profile.
That's
like,
right.
You know, like Alfred Hitchcock. Tom Heineber.
He had a good profile.
Z-Dog MD.
My
Tom
boy.
Heineber.
Who's got the better profile? Logan, weigh in.
We're back, snitches.
What's up, bro? Why are you living in California with all the communists?
I'm not. I don't move to California until September 1st.
That's what you tell the IRS.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. Is like when we decided, okay, we got to move the show up there. We're like, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Okay, the disadvantages: a sickening elite liberal bubble.
Ugh.
That even as an elite liberal, I'm sickened by.
The grossest.
Delightful weather, delicious food, incredible cost of living in a bad way, and traffic. But other than that, it's the perfect place, Tom Heineber, if you have the means, okay?
Every time I'm up there, I'm like, this is great. I'm ready to leave.
That's how I feel about New York.
Yeah, New York is terrible as well.
I get it. I get my fill in the first 30 minutes, and then I'm done.
There's some quote that's like, you know, true New Yorkers realize that people anywhere else are kidding themselves. And my addition to that quote is that the rest of us realize that New Yorkers are assholes who live in a garbage dump, and they can have it.
They're basically 8 million trash pandas.
One time I landed at LaGuardia from Dallas, and this guy, like in you know, boots and spurs and a hat, basically was like, "Man, this place sucks. This is the last time I'm ever coming here." And I was like, "Me too, brother. Me too."
I love that, you know, you're not identifying with the, you know, elite artists and creatives and business people there. You're like, this guy in a hat was like, fuck this place. And I was like, you know what? I'm with you, guy in hat.
I feel the way this guy feels. I'm going to follow this guy.
This guy's speaking my language.
Here's the thing.
For some reason, comments don't come up.
Oh, I'm getting comments.
Are you?
Oh,
you know what? I pressed a button that made them go away. No, I'll make it work.
I can read them to you.
Okay, you manage.
Cosmo says, "What up, Z? Shout out to all the respiratory line teams out there. VABC for life."
So that was a complete waste of my time, Tom Heineber. You know, go ahead and continue to read comments. So, by the way, that reminds me. So, like, you know, we're doing this like alpha trial with Facebook for doing this thing called stars, right? Tom thinks it's the worst idea ever because it's like me going out there with a guitar case asking for money.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I don't need. The supporters support us. They actually are great. We have a big tribe there. Their subscriptions really drive the show. And then we do sponsorships and we do ads and we do things like that. So we're able to go ahead and make a business out of this in a way that actually supports the movement we're trying to do. But the reason I actually care about stars is not for us, Tom Heineber, but for that little old lady who has a quilting Facebook channel who we're alpha testing a way that she can get money. Now, you think that I'm lying, but I feel for that quilting lady because I'm like, you ought to be paid to quilt, woman, by people sending you stars. Am I wrong, Tom Heineber?
You know, I had an epiphany. Let me tell you this epiphany that I had recently.
Pronounced epiphany.
Let me tell you this that I had recently. That we now, you know, all right, back in the day, you used to have to search out information. You used to have to go to a library and look at things on microfiche if you wanted to know about the past. It was like looking through seer stones or something.
Dude, I love microfiche. Don't you talk shit about microfiche.
It's my favorite band.
It is microfiche.
And, you know, so you had to really search out information, right? We live in a time now where information just comes to you. It just bombards you. And if you allow that to happen to you, you're going to be a fucking idiot. Because you still have to go search out quality information. You're living in the deluge, the avalanche of bullshit. And if you don't, you know, be proactive, take some active steps, pay a little bit for some content that you like you're not going to get quality stuff. And what you consume content-wise should be just as important as what you consume nutritionally.
Yeah, I'm with
you,
dude. You need people that you trust that share a sensibility. Now, not an echo chamber, right?
No, not an echo chamber, but you have to do some active searching and curating of the things that come into you.
I am with you, my brother.
Because here's the thing. It's like, remember the early days of Facebook when you're like, it'd be like shit you like, and you would like different shit to let people know you like that shit, you know? And one day I was like, roller coasters, yeah, fuck yeah, I like roller coasters. I click like on that little roller coaster link. And then like last week, actually it was like 2 months ago, but like 2 months ago, roller coasters is now like a page that shares like explicit outrage news, and it was like, roller coasters, my boyfriend raped me, things I'll never forget. And I was like, that is not roller coaster related. You know what I mean?
So what you're telling me, Tom Heinberg, is if we want to grow our reach, we need to start sharing some clickbait nonsense garbage. That's what I'm taking home.
Saying that I used to be the type of person who was like, I will never fucking pay for content on the internet. The internet is free. Mm-hmm. I'm not about that life, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not giving you my credit card info. There's no way. It's not happening.
Not happening.
And now I'm more than happy to support people. And, you know, I think in sum total, I'd probably pay $80 or $90 a month, you know, just supporting different content curators and getting access to, you know, paywall type stuff like what we're doing with the subscription channel. And, you know, that's basically like what a cable bill used to cost. And I don't have a cable bill.
See, that's the thing. It's like cutting the cord, right? And then you can just get the content you want. Like I subscribe for HBO because Chernobyl is fucking amazing. Like
Chernobyl is so good.
Oh, just that. If we did nothing else but made Chernobyl, I would be like, this was worth the $15 a month, right? So for the supporter tribe, it's like $4.99 a month, and people will tell me, dude, it's worth it just for that time you said X, or the fact that there's nothing that you won't say to supporters. And the other thing is, it's not an echo chamber. So like, I will disagree with supporters, we'll get into it, but in a civil way. Great, man, that's unusual to be able to do that. And the supporter tribe discussion group is actually pretty good because I'm fucking curating it. And I'm not letting anything through unless it interests me.
Plus, humans don't value things they don't pay for. Like at the SpaceX and Tesla cafeterias, the employees get like amazing high quality food, but they still have to pay a couple bucks for it because Elon Musk is a smart guy and he knows humans don't value things that are free.
Yeah.
It's like, it's free. What's the catch? It's a piece of junk. You just give it to me. We want things that other humans have. Right?
Yeah.
And those things cost money, or, you know, this is why price is still like a pretty good indicator of quality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I always go, my wife sends me to the store and she's like, get a toaster oven. And I just buy the most expensive toaster oven because I just figure it's going to be the best, you know?
There's some flaw in that, but not a terrific amount. Like, for
Right.
example, expensive wine is often not good.
Well, sometimes I'll look at them, right? And there'll be like a $200 toaster oven and it has like it has Wi-Fi.
Right.
And you're like, I don't need
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And then I'll go to the $150 toaster oven, you know?
Actually, that's a fucking thing now. So because we're, you know, finishing the prep on our house, right, that we're going to move into. And it's like every new device wants to connect to your Wi-Fi and wants you to download an app so you can fuck with this device.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care what my fridge is doing.
Right.
I don't care what my dishwasher is doing. Oh my God, do I care what my trash disposal is doing right now? No. Do I want an alert? Oh, allow notifications from the trash disposal app. Fuck that. Dispose the trash. Then get back to me.
I was at Best Buy the other day. I saw a basketball that had like a chip in it, and it's like, this is the Internet of Things. Why does a fucking basketball need a chip, right?
Dude, you never know. Some motherfucker might dribble it
And
wrong.
if basketballs have chips, why during the NFL do they still bring out the yardsticks and measure the shit? Like, just chip the whole field, and then we'll know if the ball crossed the plane or not. You know what I'm saying?
It's some shit.
Amy says, Tom looks like he's down a few pounds. What's his secret?
Oh, shit. You were just telling me you lost 20
told
pounds.
Z I lost 20 pounds.
And you know what I told Tom?
Yeah.
You don't look any different.
He was like, you look the same. I was like, that hurts my feelings. You know what my secret? Okay, here's my secret. I've just been counting calories.
It's just straight
It's
ins
the
and outs.
Easiest
Ins and
motherfucking
outs.
thing. You know what I ate for breakfast the other day? Bunch of chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are on my calories.
Calories.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also I pair it with the watch. Which
so
is legit. Because here's the thing: when you do calories, right? You're like, okay, and I track everything on that app, MyFitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal. Yeah.
When you do calories, you're like, I'm gonna eat whatever 2,400 calories a day, which is my thing, right? But I'm a big man. I can't eat 2,400 calories every single day. Some days I want to fuck around and eat 3,800 calories. So what do? I get my ass on the Stairmaster, and then I eat a whole pizza for dinner. You know what I mean?
You go
and
to
that
energy
way
balance.
it all evens out, and I'm doing it slowly over time.
That was a no-fail way. As long as you can sustain it, that's the trick.
Yeah, it's really, this method is really sustainable for me.
For
it's
you,
just
yeah.
like a lifestyle change thing for me. Because I can't do, when I cut out whole food groups.
Yeah.
No,
good.
I can't do that. I need variety in my foods. I just do.
The only thing I've been able to do recently, I gained a bunch of weight when we went to Hawaii for that talk and all that, and being back and forth to the Bay Area, and that I'm just eating all this crap. It's like, I need to go back to one meal a day.
Yeah.
And make that meal less egregious. Like, it can't be just anything I want, because that's what I was doing. I was like, damn. My kids were like, you're fat, Daddy. I'm like, you're fat.
See, that's the thing. When I was doing one meal a day, too, I'd be eating like 4,200 calories. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're already planning.
But I'm just having one meal.
We're already planning this now, Tom
I know.
Heinemer. We're like, we're going to go to Settebello. We're going to eat a series of margarita pizzas.
I took Z to this place that has amazing margarita pizzas. And then, like, the first thing we say when we saw each other right after Z gets here from the airport is like, yo, we're going to have pizzas at that place? So we're just fat kids at heart, you know, and you have to fight against your inner fat kid.
You do, but then sometimes you just give in and go, I'm fat, and I'm gonna own this.
I think one of my epiphanies about just adult life has been tracking everything is really helpful for me. So like tracking my wealth was the thing that caused me to like be in I'm rich, people. It's great. I was gonna say advantageous financial position, but Tom got money, yo. Tracking my calories has been like killer for my fitness, and I've been journaling like a huge. Well, I'm not gonna say that word, but
oh my god, dude! What happened? I leave for a minute and like Tom's journaling, dude. What happened? I mean, we work together with a certain understanding.
Yeah.
That you never journal.
Well, here's the thing. What do you want out of life?
Journals.
You want to be rich, fit, healthy, and happy. That's what everybody wants, right? That's the Naval thing.
Yeah.
So I've just been trying to track those things, and every day, like, I'm feeling like, I'm in a bad mood. Things are bad. I don't want to feel bad. I write it down. And then I realize, like, the day wasn't that bad. I'm just being kind of a dumbass.
You know, that's cognitive behavioral therapy you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to write down the shit. What are your thoughts? And then notice the distortions in thinking, catastrophizing, black and white thinking, negativity bias, all the other things, glasses half full. I do the same shit, Tom Heinemer.
That's the hardest one, though. The journaling is the hardest one because, like, calories and money, it's like, it's like, ooh, I'm going to eat pizza later. Ooh, I just made some more money. Journaling is like, when I was little, nobody loved me enough. It's not as good. It's not as good.
Journaling requires a lack of self-deception.
Right.
Like the other things, you can fudge calories. You can't fudge money. It's hard.
No.
You can avoid things. But yeah, you know what? Actually,
that's the other thing. Being honest about what you're putting down. You know?
Right.
You put butter on your potatoes or whatever. Like you got to write that shit down, and then you're like, wait, I just used 200 calories of butter.
Yep.
Yes, you did, because you're fat and you love butter.
Oh,
this is me talking to me, by the way.
You said, I'm learning these things about being an adult. It's interesting because I think I went through this series of quantum moments.
Yeah.
So there was a minute in my 20s when I got really into finances. It was in residency because I'm like, I'm broke. I need to figure this out.
Yep.
One day I won't be broke, but I will be if I don't figure this out. And so I got obsessive about investing. I had all the charts, Quicken. I was like following all the numbers, and I got really familiar with how taxes work. I did my own taxes all the time, and I would make sure I understood it. Now that tool set, I don't care about it.
You built it. Yeah, the muscle memory is there.
But it's unconscious. Now I'm like, okay, now you don't do that because that's terrible opportunity cost. You're wasting your money. Don't do that.
This is an important thing. This is why you only focus on one item at a time, because if I tell you to start tracking everything, well, you end up tracking nothing. Like
nothing. Yeah.
Just pick one. Pick one item on the list. You feel you're really deficient, financially, work on your finances first. If you feel you're really deficient, if you're deficient in all three areas, welcome to life. A lot of us are, so just pick one and get working on it. And then once you've accomplished a big goal in that one, move to the next one.
Like Christy Seitz lost 92 pounds in a year. I mean, that's basic. She basically amputated a Siamese twin.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one less appendage.
Logan's wife lost him. Logan, how much did your wife lose? 70. She's lost 70 pounds on keto. Like she's been doing, and she's been like super consistent. Post on her Instagram, like she looks fucking great.
Logan better get on the goddamn bandwagon.
I know. Why is he still so fat?
Oh, Logan's down 40.
Oh yeah,
Logan's down 40. Yeah. This is great. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's like these little steps, right? So then I got into fitness. Then I got into what was the other thing you said? So it was money, fitness, Happiness.
Yeah.
So happiness.
You're at your last one.
I'm at my
happiness
last
is
one.
the hardest one.
Happiness
by
is
the
the hardest one. So meditation, whether you're journaling, you're seeing a therapist, whatever it is that you do. I'm like reading a lot of Eastern spirituality because I'm like Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
We're just I'm just dabbling in whatever Eastern spirituality of the week. I told you I went to this Buddhist temple in Hawaii on Oahu on the windward side. It's in the Valley of the Temples, and I was expecting my kids to take a shit on it and be like, this is dumb, I want to leave, and my wife to be bored. Dude, everybody was like, this is the best place on the whole island. Like, this is the highlight of the trip. And I'm like, well, what was it for you? For my kids, it was being in this weird, mystical place where little birds come and fly and eat out of your hands, and there's a sense of calm. For me, it was like, oh, shit, I get this now. Like, you walk into the temple, there's this huge icon of a Buddha, right?
Yeah.
In the old days, right, when I didn't understand this shit, I went to Thailand and I would look at this stuff and I'd be like, look at this superstitious iconography. Why do humans waste so much money and time building these icons to non-existent gods? Then I realized, oh, no, it's not that. It's an icon to your own mind. It's like, oh, that fool's at peace. Look at his face. Look what he's doing. He's in the moment, and he's trying to show you how you can actually find liberation in the moment. And I was like, oh, now I'm woke. This is great. I wasn't woke at all, but I felt like that. So, yeah, you're trying to find happiness. I would say save that after you've established Maslow's hierarchy. Fitness,
right,
money, because without those things, you are going to be a mess. You're going to be grasping. And
yeah. And people are like, oh, you shouldn't care about money, man. You should be an altruist, man.
Dipshits say that.
Right. It's like life, you need money, and capitalism is a natural part of human hierarchy. So
people who say that, in my experience, are freeloading leeches. They're unemployed. They're born rich. There's a lot of different things that I've afflicted that. There are very few people I've met who've busted their ass.
Right.
And then say, money doesn't matter. They will say this, money doesn't buy you happiness. It matters to keep you stable and safe and support your family, and you need it as a prerequisite to actually then do wonderful things.
Every person I know or have ever met that's actually rich will tell you some variation of money doesn't buy happiness, but it fucking helps.
It helps.
To
the
helps
tune
you
of,
get there.
It helps
up
you
the hierarchy.
Yeah, because you're not worrying about survival.
Yeah.
So here's this.
I actually think it's the most boring part of the three. The fitness, wealth, and happiness, but it's kind of the first thing you need to accomplish.
You need it. It's just like,
because of the time value of money, because all that kind of
water's
stuff.
Boring, but it's essential to life, and so you have to take care of it. So this is an interesting way to look at this. We went back to my condo in Mountain View, me and Mrs. Dog, and we brought my 2 kids. And this is a little small condo that my dad helped me to buy, and then I took over the mortgage rapidly because I was like, no, I want to actually pay this thing down and then pay him back and all that. And it's like 1,000 square feet. Me and Mrs. Dog lived there for 7 years when we were medical residents. It was walking distance to Castro Street, all these cool restaurants, and it was like this magical place, and we have all these fond memories of it. And it was this thing. Well, we go back now. We've been renting it for the last, out to people for the last how many decades, and since we left in like 2006. And we're like, oh my God, dude, this place is a shithole. Yeah. Like, it is, how do you live like this? And the truth is, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. The more money you get, the more your mindset starts to shift. The more you need, you're on a hedonic treadmill, always chasing the next thing. That's no longer good enough. That was beyond good enough for us. We felt rich in that place.
I remember being in my first, condo that me and my wife owned, and just being like, I can't believe we have a condo, and we're here.
It's a huge deal. Most
and that
people don't
condo,
have it.
I think, cost $140K when we bought it. And I was like, that was all the money in the world at the time, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's still more than most Americans have, to be able to easily go and get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't buy it in cash. I had a mortgage.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, you have a mortgage. By the way, speaking of mortgage, so it's funny. So my daughter, I've been listening to Sapiens on audiobook, Yuval Harari, and I already read his sequels and stuff, but that book is interesting because it's a history of mankind. So every now and again, my oldest daughter, Nina, she's 11, I'll be in the car and I'll be like, I'm just going to put this on because I don't want to listen to you yap about, how you're hungry or thirsty or what, you don't want to go somewhere. And she'll start listening, and Harari will be like, so for the most of human history, the mindset of humans was that the amount of wealth in the world is a fixed number. And all you're doing is taking that pie and trying to grab a piece of it. And so there was no such thing as, the economy will be bigger next year.
Right.
There was no such thing as we can grow the pie. It was just there's this much wealth and you take your piece, which is why Jesus said that it is easier to get into heaven. It's very hard for somebody who makes a lot of money.
It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, is the direct quote.
Well played, Tom.
I went to Catholic school, people.
Damn, homie. In high school, you were the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? So in the setting of that, the idea in those days was if a rich person's getting rich, they're taking from someone else,
right,
by default. It's like Marxism says the same thing. Basically.
Yeah, people still think that way now.
Yeah,
we call them morons.
We call them Bernie Sanders. So we call them morons. So what ended up happening is when things started to shift and you start seeing, oh no, actually the economy could be bigger,
right,
and you could grow the pie, something called credit started to be established. And now you can build your bakery by borrowing against future growth. And that powers this understanding, which is really kind of a lie. It's kind of like, that future growth doesn't exist yet, but we're going to assume it does. And so as a result, we can borrow against it, have credit, and do the engine of economic growth that we have.
I have to take minor.
She was like, wow, I had no idea.
I quibble a little bit with Harari and some of his things. Like, I don't believe money is a shared fiction. I believe it's a shared recognition, which is different than it being a shared fiction. I also believe that credit precedes barter, because credit is a natural system. I do something for you, you do something for me. That's credit.
That's like reciprocity credit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a natural human instinct, natural human system,
Interesting.
IOUs between,
but it's very short term. It's very short term.
Yeah. It used to be very short term.
Right.
Yeah, you weren't having 30-year,
30-year IOUs, right, with interest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know that humans have, to me, the word fiction, which Harari likes to use, that humans organize via fiction, stories, is, I don't know that they're necessarily made up whole cloth, which is what the word indicates to me, fiction. What I think is that humans organize via shared recognitions.
Right. Well, I think, again, it may be a bit of semantics, but it does frame it, too. It frames how you do it. By the way,
semantics matter, because if humans are organizing via shared fiction, well, we can just create new fictions whole cloth and then live inside of them, and that's postmodernism, right? But if humans are organizing via shared recognition, well, then there's natural law and order to some things.
Interesting. Yeah, it's more objective. So one thing I will say, so people are sending stars. I'm not reading the stars comments because people have fed back that that's obnoxious on a big show. We'll do it on certain things where you ask me anything and I read your comment. What I will do is me and Tom will go back for anyone who sent stars after the fact, and we'll respond to your comments, like them, do little giffies, so you will be acknowledged, but not necessarily live on the show for this episode, because it'll be distracting. And we have some photographers just showed up because I'm going to be on the cover of some kind of pharmaceutical shill magazine. I forget what it's called, like M&M or something.
M&M.
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 I'm not sure, but I was like, yeah, I'll do the interview. I don't give a damn. I'll be on the cover of this. What's the magazine? Is it Dog Fancier magazine? I'm in. Is it Pigeon Fancier magazine?
Donald Lordy says people underestimate the need for foundational stability. I think they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it.
Now here's the question. Can foundational stability be given to you, or do you have to earn foundational stability?
Oh, this is interesting. You mean you got to work, you got to do something. It's not a natural born thing. You don't just give it to babies and kids.
But it is in our society, though. I mean, that is what you do. The social contract basically is
you go to school.
Your children get a better life than you had, and that's the game we're all playing, right? Except for the baby boomers who don't seem to be playing that game.
No, they're out. Wait, so define foundational stability.
Good question, because it comes in varying shapes and sizes, doesn't it? So foundational stability could be financial, it could be mental, emotional.
It's like a Maslow's stability.
Yeah. I don't know. I would assume Donna is talking about it in sort of a financial, emotional context.
Yeah.
Because this is sort of the argument I'm getting at is this is sort of the UBI argument, right? Like the universal basic income, which you say, okay, we're going to give $1,000 a month to everybody. This is Andrew Yang, Democratic candidate, is like, we're going to give $1,000 a month. Everybody calls it a freedom dividend, which is like a very clever play on words when it's just straight up socialism. But the idea is that this would give Americans foundational stability, and then they could emerge upwards and, do things that they need to do. Now, basic economics would say that everything's just going to become more expensive.
Inflate.
Right.
Yeah.
Landlords would be like, guess what? Rent's $1,000
more expensive.
Yeah.
Right. I don't understand the economics of that, and maybe because I'm stupid, but I think it's more because that's a stupid idea. Now, people like Rogan and others have been sort of talked into that by Yang. So is Sam Harris, but others are like what's his name? Naval.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is dumb. You don't do this. Because see, the premise that it's based on is wrong. The premise that Yang is saying, and again, I agree with some of Yang's stuff, I don't agree with this, is that, we're all going to be obsoleted, or many of us are going to be obsoleted by the AI revolution. And so in order to avoid a catastrophe, we need to start providing universal basic income for the people that are going to be obsoleted. Okay, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's insane.
In the history of humans, we've said that every single time a technological revolution comes along.
Yeah.
And
if you look at popular science back from the 1920s, it's like imminent that robots are going to take over and do our jobs. In the 1920s, they felt this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it still hasn't happened.
It's not. No.
Yeah.
Now, it's different than saying...
This is what Marxism is based on, too.
Yeah.
Marxism coincides with the Industrial Revolution.
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 words.
That's
Chernobyl.
Right. That's right.
It has nothing, really. It's more just stupid humans than socialism on that one. But, okay,
No, not really, because that's bureaucracy, which is caused by socialism.
Yeah, but you can have it in a capitalist...
If you look at the chain of command...
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a capitalist society, there's an incentive there for the minute somebody fucks up to call them out on it, right?
Yeah.
That's, you make money on doing that.
Right. Unless you're going to lose money by doing that, which...
people will want to hide it, but people
are
also trying to unearth it.
So
Whereas in socialism, everybody's trying to hide it because you can't let it get high up the chain of command. You'll be crucified for it.
Yeah. But now, universal basic income is a different idea than a social safety net. So saying, well, okay, there's universal medical coverage, or there's Social Security, Medicare, or there's disability, workman's comp, or stuff like that, which I think we don't do that well in this country, which may be why,
I'm okay with all safety net programs as long as they're not permanent, but they seem to be permanent.
Well, that's the problem, is with the incentives, the way they're aligned, sometimes there's not an incentive to work.
Right.
It's actually better not to work.
Once you get on the government dole, you kind of never get off of it, That's most people. I'm not talking about the people that dip into unemployment and then dip back out. That tends to work for a lot of people, but I'm talking about the people on Social Security, disability, et cetera, et cetera.
And then you have to.
And I meet people on. Listen, this is gonna be super unpopular, but I meet people on Social Security, disability all the time who are not disabled.
Oh yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
They're gaming the system.
Right, they're gaming the system.
It's not. I don't know what.
And that hurts the people that are actually disabled.
Well, I think there's also you then have to get into the roots of what was the momentum, cultural and economic, that put people into those straits that now they find that's a more appealing path.
I just think it's interesting. Can you guarantee foundational security for everybody? I don't think you can, because that's not the American ideal. The American ideal is the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness.
Can you guarantee it? No. Should it be a goal? 1,000%, because it breaks a cycle of disaster. So if you have poor kids in a bad area that are that have no foundational security, they're much more likely to be ill adults, get involved in not great things, have economic disadvantage, all that negative pull, the negative Pareto distribution of being born into that. Whereas if they have safe, secure families, no abuse, physical, sexual, mental abuse, nutritional abuse, they're much more likely to be able to be productive members of society. And we don't yet have that because there's so much sort of back undertow from I think, historical shit.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah, so I think there's a component of that. I think a lot of moderates would feel that way. They're like, yes and yes and yes and yes. But who knows, maybe not. That's why, man, I was on Twitter today on the plane looking through tweets, and I was like, Twitter is just a cesspool of bullshit.
Oh,
it's just the worst.
It's the worst, but I also love it.
I also love it.
Love it.
I love it. I love it too. Hang on a second. So, hey, when do y'all want to start? Okay.
And then we can get going with you. We'll make a little bit of noise. We're trying to keep
make noise.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Yeah, no.
You can set up your backdrop
We're just
or
live. We're just live streaming. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah, no. This is how we do it. Yeah, please do. Seriously, I meant to say I just got distracted by doing the show. Let's read a comment.
Can I tell you? I would tell you this. I was gonna say this about your Twitter comment.
Yeah.
Since going to therapy, you know, it's like I had this realization that like the world is run by assholes because all the nice people are at home on the floor playing with their children. You know what I mean? And all the, you know, people like Nancy Pelosi, who's a dumb bitch, are out there fucking up society.
Mitch McConnell, who's an asshole. We have to be fair and balanced, like Fox News.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell's a fucking asshole too.
Yeah.
And
see, that would have been sedition in certain countries.
yes,
what you just said.
Yeah. Well, but then I had this realization where I was like, you know, yeah, I was on my way there to being one of the assholes who run the world, you know, in some shape or context. And now I'm just much happier playing blocks on the floor with my daughter. But I can do a lot of damage from Twitter while she's napping. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
A lot of damage.
It's an amplifier of daddy evil. I know it. I do it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? The thing about people who say, yikes, disappointed, just in a tweet means the rest of that tweet is going to be outrage, virtue signaling, garbage, 1,000%.
Like right before I came to this show, I went on Twitter and I was like, hey, I got a question for all of you who use alcohol-free mouthwash. In what other areas of your life are you a huge fucking pussy? Because I want to know.
You know, that reminds me of in Chernobyl, pretty much everyone there is smoking cigarettes.
That's right.
And they're all concerned about radiation. They're like, God, this radiation, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
One time I had a guy who was literally smoking a cigarette, and he was telling me about chemtrails, you know? And he was like,
these chemtrails.
they're spraying shit on us, man. I was like, you're inhaling shit into your fucking lungs
with
right
pesticides.
now. Are you retarded?
With pesticides. It's amazing. So some people have been saying that they were able to pull themselves out of poverty, which is wonderful. Yeah, Lisa Knappert. I found my way out of a poor family and in a poor family situation and came out pretty well. It can happen. Oh, I have no doubt about that. But the question is, are you an outlier or did you have some help from a system or people or friends or luck? I think it's all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam says he was raised with the thought that hard work equals good rewards, and it might not be immediate, but it will come to fruition later. If it's not working, work harder. I think that this is false, I'm going to say. Now, I do believe in the general directional ethos of that statement.
Yeah.
But it's not true semantically because risk equals reward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to actually put something up in a capitalist system to be rewarded.
I think the ethos of it, you're right, is
Yeah,
intentions, motivation, diligence.
The ethos is like, you know, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
But there is a degree of you're going to have to take some risks to succeed. Like things are not guaranteed to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, but without work, without like some effort, reward is less likely. Without risk, high reward is less likely.
Right.
So you have to have a mix of things and understand risk. I think most people don't understand risk. Anti-vaxxers don't understand risk.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, my kid's going to get one of these side effects that's listed in the insert. It's like, dipshit. If you understood statistics at all, you'd know that that's exceedingly unlikely.
Right.
It would be like winning the lottery in reverse.
Well, yeah, you know, and really hard work, it really, I think we can boil it down further to focus. It's the thing. This is like the thing that people talk about with the law of attraction. You know, it's like, here's the thing, Z. I put up a picture of a Lamborghini on my wall. 5 years later, I got that Lamborghini after signing my first NFL contract. And it's like, okay, well, it wasn't just because you put it on your wall. A lot of people use the rule of attraction in a stupid manner,
way,
like that. Like there was that kid, the Santa Barbara kid, who killed all those people. Remember?
Yeah.
I forget the incel.
Yeah,
forget his name. Fuck. But he would try and secret lottery tickets and then drive across state lines to get lottery tickets. It's like that's the kind of person who uses the law of attraction in that manner.
You're secreting, right? Exactly.
But it's focus and intentionality that's going to get you where you want to go. There was this thing that was Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were at a dinner together, and when asked the secret of their success, everybody at the table, there's a bunch of other fancy people at this table. Warren and Bill had the same one-word answer, which was focus.
Focus, yeah. Focus, okay, this is what focus means to me, because neither you nor me are focused.
No.
We're ADD as fuck.
But I really only do focus on one thing.
At one thing at a time. Yeah. I think by focus, you can interpret that the way I interpret it is intentionality.
Yes.
So you're saying, I intend to do this with single-minded intensity.
Yes.
I may be defocused in how I get there, but the intent is never changing. It's the same when you're one of the breakthroughs in meditative practice is when you go, oh, wait a minute. The reason it's working now is because I set an intention and I keep coming back to that intention to follow the breath. The minute you forget the intention or the intention's weak, it doesn't generate the momentum of cause and effect that keeps you focused. And once it happens, it's crazy. This thing happens. Suddenly the breath becomes this kind of wave in front of you, and everything starts to go and become very present and very focused. Why? Because one mind moment leads to the next, driven by the intentionality of this is what I'm doing right now.
Another reason to just focus on one thing at a time, and this is the same thing we were talking about earlier, focus on your wealth or focus on your fitness or focus on your happiness and then move to the next item on your list. And that can be different for anybody. You don't have to do it in a specific order, although I think wealth should probably come first just because of how money works, time value money, et cetera, compounding, et cetera.
Right.
But it's kind of like once you know the way broadly, you can see it in all things. Mastery leads to mastery. So once you've done it once, it makes it easier to do it the second time.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true.
Because I did it with wealth, I'm finding it easier to focus on my fitness and health journey.
It's a one of the great deadly sins in that the Buddha speaks of, Tom Heineber, is doubt.
Yes.
So he calls it faith versus doubt. Now, he's not talking about faith in some God. He's saying faith in your own ability to do this thing.
Yeah.
So once you have one success, it creates a momentum of faith in yourself instead of constantly doubting. And that's one of the impediments to meditation. If you sit in a meditation going, God, this is always so hard. I'm never going to do this. It's garbage. It's self-fulfilling.
There's some Buddhist text where he talks about having an interaction with Mara. And
the badness.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes, he asked Mara, like, what are your tactics? And he goes, I just get real close to your face, and then I tell you all the things that you think are, going to come true are definitely going to come true. Basically, I feed your anxiety.
I feed your doubts.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but that's the tactic. And the whole thing is just not to listen to that.
Yeah.
It's
interesting. In Buddhist iconography, Mara, it represents delusion, seduction, craving, all the bad things you're trying to fight against. And the Buddha sitting under his tree finally realized, oh, I see you, Mara. I see what you're doing. And by seeing you, diffuse you. But Mara is not an evil deity. It's not like some kind of Satan. Mara is actually, in the ancient stuff, elevated into the pantheon of some great, benefactor of mankind because he shows you the delusion, right? Like he's there to be overcome, not necessarily to torment you, although if you get lost in what he's doing, you suffer. It's funny, some of these comments are like, are you guys just babbling? I'm like, yeah, well, you're a supporter, but you're not, so I don't care what you say. Carolyn Duncan, I need y'all to factor in race and how far up the ladder you are to begin with. I don't think you're wrong, Carolyn. I mean, I think you end up with like I said earlier, there's a historical undertow if you're born with a certain skin color in the wrong part of town. Even without, you're not. And we've talked about this before. I think neither you nor me deny that.
I don't deny it, but I do think it's a cop-out if you're going to use it to not try.
To not try. Yeah. And
it's like the car crash victim analogy. Like, especially black people in this country were victims of a car crash, a cultural car crash. That's true. You were a victim of that, and it was perpetrated against your ancestors, not you. But you can't overcome that car crash by blaming the person who hit you. You're going to have to get up and do the physical rehab. You know what I mean?
Well,
and it sucks and it's hard, but that's life.
And Carolyn, who appears African-American in the avatar, says, yes, also the world discriminates against overweight people. Look, the truth is, and I think we can't say that, oh, no, it happened to your ancestors and not you, because I think there is a undertow of, anyone who gets stopped by police knows there's still,
I think the biggest privilege in the world is being beautiful. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're beautiful, right? Like that guy, the Jeremy Meeks guy who is the prisoner, and then he became the sexy prisoner, and then he got a modeling contract, all this stuff. And it's that guy's a worthless fucking...
If you're born stunningly beautiful.
Right.
And that's born. You don't get made stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
You could lose weight, this and that, but you have advantages that nobody else can touch. You can be dumb, you can be lazy, and you can be absolutely rich and famous.
I know a guy, not going to say his name. He has 2 face tattoos. Okay, dose. They're the world's dumbest face tattoos. His IQ is it's low. He got the same girl pregnant twice. They're not together. Like, she just keeps coming back to him for some reason and raising his children.
Sounds like a folie à deux here.
He's a beautiful, good-looking dude, right? He's also awaiting trial because he was in an Uber, and some of his friends decided to do a drive-by out of an Uber, okay? They have your name on the app and everything. And then he ran from the cops, and they found he had a bunch of ecstasy in his pocket. Yes, I still know these people in real life, see? Because this is the town I grew up in.
I'm proud of you, Tom.
So some of my friends from high school are still around, floating around in my circles.
So the point is, he's beautiful.
He's a good-looking dude, and people keep giving him second chances. And honestly, I'm envious of his life. Honestly.
So Risa Dubois makes a point: beauty is often in the eye of the beholder. True, but also not true, because society sets beauty standards to some degree.
Yeah.
There is a symmetry thing that may be inborn. When Hoffman talks about graphical user interface that humans see in order to reproduce, each of us has our own perception. This is true.
What's the face thing? You know the thing I'm talking about.
So the more symmetrical.
No, there's a name. You know the thing? It's not like the Fibonacci sequence, but it's like.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a perfect face.
Yeah, what is it? It's like the golden ratio.
So, yeah, right. Trigonometry's involved.
Yeah.
And I won't touch that shit because I don't like math.
I
don't like math.
That shit's for going to the moon.
What was it? Not too smart, that friend of yours, says Carlman. Reason he keeps coming back is called sex, or she keeps coming back, Laura Brash.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, that's what
but
it
I'm
is,
saying,
because he's good looking.
Yeah. He doesn't provide anything else other than literally his DNA.
Yep. Julie Louise says Mara is ego. So ego.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ego is in I think in that iconography, ego is delusion. It's getting identified with something that isn't real. So ego is an appearance in consciousness that we construct minute to minute. It's not a real thing. And if we get identified with our ego, we do stupid things and we suffer. So I think that's true. I think a component of Mara is saying, oh, you are worthless, or you need money, or you don't get along with people. It's like, well, no, there is no you in the first place. That's a construct.
Adam has a good question. He says, so is the list cyclical then? You continue to revisit the items you have, quote unquote, completed, making them easier to maintain?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a constant practice.
Constantly.
It's not like it's cyclical. It's more like once you've done one, you can now do it easily.
Yeah.
And so you just do it as a everyday thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Every day I check in on like my net worth. Like that's something I do every single day.
Yeah. See, now, and I don't do that anymore because now I've got enough years under my belt where I'm like, okay, I know what it's going to do.
Right.
And actually the individual fluctuations will tempt me to do things like trading and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that. Now I don't do that. So it just depends on where you are and what you want out of that.
That's because Z barely has any Bitcoin, y'all. Like hardly any. You know what I'm saying?
Bitcoin poor. Mm-hmm.
When it's in Bitcoin, you're like, oh, did I just make and lose $500,000? Seems like I did. Wait, am I down another 700,000?
Yeah, that kind of volatility. I don't have the risk tolerance for that, Tom Heiner. That's a little too much beta.
But yeah, things become easier once you've mastered them.
Yeah,
you know? It's like your daughters play the violin, right? And they're getting really good at the violin. They don't have to go back and revisit beginning violin.
The only reason we have them do violin is A, they like it. Otherwise, we would have made them stop because it's a pain in the ass for us. It's not that they're going to be professional violinists. That's an insane pipe dream for like 3 people in the world. It's because it gives them mastery of something that they then will have confidence to do other things. And there's cross-pollination in the mind.
Yeah.
We should do an AMA on study tips for medical students that, or from my experience, because
that
there are
little
little tricks. Let's do that today.
We should.
Because I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, here's things that work for me. May not work for you.
Muscle memory and it just sort of, it's interesting. These things never leave you. It's like riding a bike. Like I took up skateboarding recently because I'm having a full-blown midlife crisis.
Of course.
And
at the ripe age of 30. Yeah.
And I haven't skateboarded in 15 years. And I went to the skate park. I'm still better than all the kids at the skate park.
See,
I'm like, oh, you can't 50-50 that rail? Bro, when I was your age, bro, dude, I would have crooked that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I had the...
I would have been kickflip crook all over that, bro. What are you doing? Man? Is that your mom? Tell her what's up.
Dude, that's amazing. I had my skateboard midlife crisis 2 years ago, bought a new skateboard, and I was a ramp guy. So I was never good at street because I couldn't ollie very high. I'm too short. So what ended up happening was, I had my own half pipe in my backyard when I was growing up. I built it myself.
Yeah.
And then down the street, we had a professional, like legit, like 3 feet of vert, real half pipe.
Legit one.
So I got decent at that, but it's really hard to just get back on a skateboard and skate ramp when you're 46.
It is. This is true.
I was just out on the street doing stuff, and I was like, I'm going to do this. Oh, man, I am pretty good again. This is great. And then I slipped off and fell down on my left wrist. In the old days, I would have jumped up and been like, I'm cool. This is not a thing, and I'm better in a minute. I had arm pain, like not even, like terrible wrist pain, elbow pain, full arm pain for like 4 months, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've injured myself forever.
Yeah,
I got better. But
I got that going on right now.
Right now, you cannot the nature of impermanence, Tom. We were talking about that.
That's right.
You cannot reclaim the glories of the past. You don't want to.
No.
You can dabble.
You can dabble.
Experientially.
This is true.
That's what it was like to be young and completely immortal.
Yeah, it's like the memories flood back.
Right.
But I know I can't I'm not physically capable of the same things I was capable of back then.
Exactly. Can't do it.
Yeah.
And then part of me is better. I have more stamina than I did when I was young in terms of like aerobic exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
you do aerobics, bro?
Yeah, I put
like,
on
like Richard Simmons type stuff.
I put on sunglasses and a headband, and I'm like, let's get physical. I wanna get physical. Let's get into physical. Let me hear your body talk. Isn't
it funny just when I hear the word aerobics, immediately I think Richard Simmons and like I'm sweating to the oldies. Like that's what comes into my head.
You know my Richard Simmons story?
What are we doing, y'all? Aerobics?
I told you my Ted Med story where I had to. For another time. But I not only did I meet Richard Simmons, I had to introduce him at Ted Med 2013, and with the Surgeon General at the time, Regina Benjamin, who's a sweetheart, by the way, and he was batshit crazy backstage. Like he was manic. He had his manager there. It was insanity.
Yeah.
But when he got on stage, he started, like before he even went on, he was like crying to me, Zubin, I don't want to do this. They're all scientists. I'm so scared. And then I'm like, I'm nobody, right? I'm sitting here and going, this is Richard Simmons. Like I used to watch him, like my mom used to watch Sweating to the Oldies, and I would sit there and be like, who's that clown with the afro and with the white guy afro? And I'm like, it's okay, Richard. You're going to crush it. Look, I'm going up there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not really a scientist, except that I kind of am. But, like, you're going to kill it. He goes on stage and just owns that whole place. He had a bunch of dorky people up there like, doing this thing. And like, everybody stretch. Everybody stretch. And he crushed the game. And I was like, Richard Simmons, man, say what you will. He crushes the game.
When I was little, I used to think that Richard Simmons and Bob Ross were brothers. They had kind of the same hair.
Oh my God!
They were both on TV.
Pretty little cloud over here.
It made sense to me back
Actually,
then.
that makes a strange sense to me now.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
Like if I told you that,
like,
you might believe it. Like, do you know that they were brothers? Actually,
I would totally believe it.
And the mom forced Bob to go into painting, and Richard to go into dance. Yeah.
Feels right to me, Tom Hunter. Feels like you've cracked it, like the Da Vinci Code. Like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. They were brothers the whole time. Oh,
it's just called Two Brothers.
Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers. That's right. Hey, when's Rick and Morty coming back? By the way,
man, I don't know, but it can't come back soon enough. Because I love Rick and Morty.
Pickle Rick.
It's the best.
I know.
It's the best.
I know. I want that eye patch Morty to do some crime.
Evil Morty's going to fuck shit up.
Evil Morty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh. I have Rick and Morty socks packed. I have a Rick and Morty shirt because my family, this is how they buy me presents. They're like, what's he watching on TV? Let's get him that. So one year I got a Rush t-shirt because I watched the Rush, Behind the Lighted Stage documentary. This year I got Rick and Morty gear. Next year I'm going to get a Chernobyl reactor like on my...
My wife always says it's hard to buy shit for me too because if I want some shit...
I go buy it.
I just buy it.
I go buy it.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that you don't know you want.
And then when she buys me some shit, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't want that though.
And then I end up wearing it. My mom got it in her head that I love Star Wars, which, okay, sure, I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I'm not like the
You're
kid.
also a grown man.
I'm a grown-ass man. So she'll go to Target, and it'll be my birthday, and she'll buy a Star Wars T-shirt.
Oh, Zubin, I just wanted you to wear. Is it Death Star? Are you familiar?
It's not even that sophisticated, Tom Heineberg. It's like, I know you like this shooty kind of star thing, so I bought this one for you.
This shirt seems to have a frog on it. That's Yoda.
Yoda.
That's Yoda, Mom. He seems like a very nice frog, distinguished.
I remember once seeing him on a commercial for the toy, and I remember when you were 4, you looked up and you said, "That's a toy I want, Mommy." And I said, "You're not thinking straight, Babu." Yeah, it's like that. And then I'll get it in the mail, and I'm like, God, and I'll roll my eyes, and then I'll wash it and wear it. And I wash it because I know the Target my mom shops at, and it's in the hood. And I know 20 kids have tried this thing on. They're just like, check it. Star Wars. I can't buy this. And now I'm wearing that same shirt. So I'm like, I'm going to wash this shirt because I don't want nipple lice. I don't.
I like your character. some small child goes and tries but then he knows he has no money.
What? I mean,
like, why is he trying that? It's so funny.
Like this child doesn't exist somewhere on Earth. I mean, I know there's a kid somewhere. But
hey, Gordito, where you been? You've been trying to close again. I'm crying.
Chancho, you stop trying on shirts. All right.
They've been telling us about you at the Target, eh? You better stop.
Why are you making him Mexican, you racist?
You made him Mexican.
First of all, everybody knows that little Mexican kids do not like Star Wars. It's not a thing. All right? It's not a cultural thing. You're so culturally unaware.
I don't know why that's so funny. I can't go on with this show.
I'll read some comments. Tom is losing it, says Rachel. Tom's laugh is contagious right now. I can't stop. Adam West, who is Batman? Tom's going to pee his pants.
So funny.
Christina Wachowski. I love Tom's impression, Jen Bonner. I love it too. Wife just got me Star Wars Chubby's swim trunks. Actually, it's not a typo, swum trunks. It's like after you swam, you put on the swum trunks.
Dude, I haven't got the church giggles like that in so long. You didn't go to church when you were a kid, did you?
No.
One time, I was laughing. One time, me and my cousin we're at Catholic church, and in Catholic church, you go, Lord, hear our prayer, and the whole congregation says it together, right? And the priest would let it hang, and he would be like, Lord, hear our prayer, like long after everybody else had stopped. And me and my cousin just started giggling our motherfucking asses off. But we're locked in the, you're in a pew full of people.
Yeah.
10 people this way, 10
10
people
that
this
way.
way.
Stiff.
And we're just like this. And my aunt is like jabbing us in the back.
Oh my God.
And this is when I was like 17 years old.
That's what takes it to the next level.
It's the best.
While you're learning about finances. Actually, when did you start? I don't want.
When did I start learning about finances?
Yeah, when was that?
Super early because I have white privilege. We were
There it
talking
is.
about
That's
it
what it
at
is.
the dinner table.
See, that's white privilege.
Yeah.
I love it. I want that privilege.
That's the true white privilege.
This was
White
Indian.
privilege is when you ignore your children entirely, and then you're like, listen, here's the thing. This is what happened in the markets today. What do you mean you had a fight at school? The Dow is down. We have more important things to talk about.
We have more important things to talk about. Okay, listen, here's the thing. The fiduciary interests of this table happen to lean towards IBM going up. My dad, so the Indian privilege was my dad simply saying, you will be on the street if you don't get a job. That's all. It was just all about doom and gloom. It wasn't about the market, and it was always about missed opportunity. See, Dr. Singh, he bought 12 acres. Now they're building Clovis Community Hospital right there.
It's always, yeah.
12 acres. What is he worth now? Millions.
Yes.
What did I do? I worked instead of buying land. You should buy land.
You know what?
That was the kind of
I would
bullshit.
I would get this too because my dad would be like, I was in Seattle with a guy and told him about this coffee company, and I was like, nobody's gonna pay $5 for coffee, Dan. And that company was called Starbucks. I missed that one. You know?
That is such a dad thing.
Oh my God, all of those.
You know, did I tell you about my roommate in college? Okay, his name is Steve Chipotle.
My father-in-law, when I got married, was like, in the early 70s, I could have bought gold, made a killing. He was like, what I'm basically telling you now is look into gold.
Look into gold. That's
like,
what they do. It's
right.
total distortion, right?
Yeah.
And my dad is
It's
still
a hindsight bias.
My
it's
dad,
total hindsight bias.
he's still like any interest rate below 19 is a good deal. In 1982, we got our first mortgage. Interest rate was 19%. Okay? I was stuck. I was like, that's just idiotic. Don't buy a house. How's that? So what's the interest now?
Listen,
10%? Take out a big loan.
This is why they called it stagflation, because we had to eat deer that I would kill myself. Okay?
I miss stagflation.
Stagflation.
God, what a great time. What a great era.
I feel like we're living in a modern 70s right now. I can make a strong case for that.
For the modern 70s? Fiscal policy-wise? Yeah.
Like the early 2000s were our 60s, bro. You know what I'm saying? Back when R. Kelly wasn't a rapist.
Right.
Things were beautiful then.
Remember that?
Remember when Britney Spears did Oops, I Did It Again? It seemed like a free time, Z.
What was that song? Oops, I did it again.
That was my jam. That was my jam.
Got lost in the game. Oh, baby. Yeah. Like, what was she singing about?
I don't know, but we were flying high back then.
It was kind of like a normalized pedophilia is what she was selling.
The economy was booming. Enron happened. We all just acted like it was no big deal. You know what I mean? Like, things were going good. Yeah.
Fergie was a thing.
Fergie. Fergalicious.
Fergalicious was a hit.
She was living so 2008.
Oh, my God.
And you were so
we
2008.
Were so
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to go do your fancy photo shoot. I think they're ready.
I think I do. Hey, we should just turn the camera over there and show them what they're doing, except we can't because of focus. Can you? All right. Show them what's going on. You guys care? No. All right. Here we go. Prepare yourselves. It's totally unlit. You got to squat down to about half your... Oh, yeah, no, we can't see him.
There's a photographer over there.
It's like a Yeti sighting. Okay, we just get him. We'll just get him on the show. Here, where is he? It was worth a try. It was worth a try. Fergalicious, make them boys go loco, Reese Dubois. Ashley Stewart, I grew up with
They get their pleasures from my photo.
Oh, my God. Remember her midriff? All the women were like, I want a midriff like that.
Can I tell you that Fergie seems like a crackhead that somebody painted lipstick on, forced to sing?
Do you know?
Fergie looks like she does meth.
Do you
like
know
a
that
lot of meth.
Fergie was in a show called, it was a kids show. It wasn't a Disney thing. It was where they sing. Oh, my God. It was called, but yeah, she was like a little kid, and then she grows up. I'm Fergalicious. I mean,
they all go dirty. They all go dirty, Z.
They all go dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Christina Aguilera.
Miley. Britney, bitch. Think about it.
I mean, remember Toxic?
With the tears on my lips, I'm in around.
Your toxic tongue slipping under the taste of your lips. I'm addicted to you, but you know that you're toxic.
You know what I like about the Toxic video? My boy Tyrese.
Oh, Tyrese.
He's in that. He's in that, yo.
Tyrese was in Unbreak My
That's right.
Heart.
Toni Braxton.
Yeah. Toni Braxton. That was the sequel.
Yeah.
Where she got together with Toni and had an R&B group.
I don't know about that. Too young.
Too young.
Too young and vital.
Too young.
That's right.
Too young to quit. MC Hammer.
Yeah.
He survived into the 2000s for a bit. Had his house in Fremont.
Lost
his house in Fremont.
I believe it.
Tyrese.
Go do your fancy photo shoot, man.
I don't want to.
Give
I
the
want to
people
talk
what they
to the
want.
Z-Pack.
Photos of your face, apparently.
I'll just be like this. You know what? I'm going to start a new trend, wearing sunglasses upside down. That's going to be like the new thing. Like, Z-Dog started this. Yeah, what up, fam?
It's funny. I was at baby time at the library, and I saw this little kid who was doing that.
Did you?
He had a broken leg. He was like 5, and he was going like, and now you're doing it right now.
So you're saying that this isn't the next big trend? The NBT. All right. Well, I think it's time to call the code.
So far, Taylor Swift hasn't been in the news. Just wait.
Oh, you just wait. Because it's always Taylor Swift having a beef with someone. You know what I mean? All right, here. I'm going to do a thumbnail with Tommy. It's really creepy.
I'm uncomfortable.
You should be uncomfortable.
Wait, is he still going? You should have
I
ended it.
think we got to
there.
end.
It was weird.
I love you, Z-Pack. We're out.
And now it's over.
Oh, there it is. Look.